Hi everyone, it's Natalie here, and I wanted to give a big shout out to Amy Chace. So Amy Chace is the creator of Manifesting Your Greatness Oracle. I love it. It's gorgeous. The fabulous Nina from Shuffle Tarot has been raving about this deck. And there's a funny little story about how I acquired it. So, I've been watching Nina's videos, and I rarely hear, Nina's enthusiastic, but I rarely hear her talk about stuff with such excitement and enthusiasm. And somewhere after watching her videos about this, Amy Chace herself started following me. I got a notification that she was following me, and something in me immediately wanted to be supportive. When I see another woman taking a step towards creating something or working on something that that's a tool or that's artistic, there's always something in me that wants to be supportive of that. So I immediately thought, wow, that's so cool. She followed my channel, and I thought, maybe I should get that deck. And then I thought, no, I'm not sure I should get that deck. I spent a lot of money on decks in May, and I'm overwhelmed with stuff. Maybe I don't know about that. But I was also looking at Oracle decks, interestingly. I've realized I really would like to have more Oracle decks that work with my tarot decks. In some part because I really like them. I've always liked them. I like the way they function, all of the things. But also because I find that when working with clients, and especially as I'm thinking about starting a tarot business, as an additional hustle, in addition to all the other hustles I've got, I was also thinking about the impact that an Oracle deck can have on a client. They're so much more immediate. They don't feel nearly as esoteric and unattainable, to understand. So, in addition to that, I was also thinking, well, if it could also be an Oracle deck that I'd like to work with, that would really be preferable because, obviously that's always a thing. And I had settled on a list of recommendations that I've been given by people for decks that would work well with the Marielle, and so on, and which is great. And so I was investigating those and looking at people's walkthroughs and so on, and I'd settled on the Empathic Oracle. And I could see that I could use my gift certificate at Barnes & Noble, and it turned out that there was a copy in store at the Barnes & Noble near my mom and dad's where I was headed. So I thought, great, I'll go by there on my way to mom and dad's, and I'll pick it up and take it home, and it'll be great. Well, I got there, and I could not find that deck anywhere. It said on the website very clearly that they had it. I could not find it. But what was there on the shelf but a few copies of Manifesting Your Greatness? So after establishing that they really did not have the Empathic Oracle, which I'd already, honestly, I was going to get them both. I'll be honest. I was even maybe gonna use one of my 20% coupons for one purchase and then come back the following day and get the other one. But it didn't work out that way anyway because they didn't have it. So I ended up with Manifesting Your Greatness, and oh my gosh, I was so excited. And I took it right home and opened it up, and I'll say all of the good things about it first because it is a delightful, delightful deck. And I'd also watched Ethany's unboxing of it, which was great. I have different feedback about it than she does. First being, I love the design of the box. I really, this is Schiffer Red Feather, so where I'm going to go with that. But look, there's Amy. Great picture. What I really love about it as much as anything is that it's not as big as you'd think. It looks huge when, there on the screen, but it's actually not all that big when you see it in proportion to hands like this close to the body. Here it looks giant, right? But I love this rainbowy, washed out. You can't quite read the letters. You'll have to kind of squint and go in really close to read the letters. I love that in artwork. I do that with pottery. I haven't showcased any like that yet, but I will. I do that with some of my mixed media. I've definitely done it with layering fabric. I love that because I like using, language that writing that you can't read in the composition or the background composition of artwork. I find that compelling for some reason. I can't really explain it, but I love the way that writing looks. I'm not talking about perfect calligraphy, although I love that too, but just handwriting, it's so beautiful. Kind of makes me want to tell this quick story. I once was doing, like a legacy, well, I wouldn't call it a legacy project. I've done legacy projects before, but this was more like a friend called my partner and said, could you throw us a pottery urn for the ashes of our dad? And we'll need two that are matching, one for me and one for my brother. And her father had been a really powerful human being who was living on the fringes. And he was a musician, a very talented musician, horn player. And he was living in Arizona and really kind of earning his money through busking, mostly through playing on the street. And he had alcohol issues and, was a wholly imperfect father and human being who was deeply loved by his kids anyway, who chose to forgive him very deeply for his imperfection. And they had something he did every day was write. And he had these journals, and some of them had been through floods, and some of them had been rained on and so on. And when you opened them, because of the colors of ink that he'd used and the combination of that running with water and all, different types of paper, artists who are into this stuff would have just gone nuts over the beauty of those journals. And thankfully the friend of ours that had them and, whose father it was, knew, like, I don't want to get rid of that. But we used the feel of that in the creation of his urns. So we combined like writing like this with landscape, and the writing I used for it was I wrote in cursive script the Heart Sutra in Sino-Korean. So I don't know, that's always what it reminds me of. So that for me, that the box and this type of artwork, I love it. So I wanted to offer that to you, Amy, because I really appreciate that about what you did. So the book for the deck is an incredible, it's one of the better Oracle deck books that I think I've actually ever seen. And I probably won't be able to do it full justice, but let's see if I can. As you look at it and open it, you've got full color, but then look at these side pages with where they've drawn out a shape and then sprinkled it across the page with the full card, right? And then on the opposite page, you've got either full artwork or, in some cases it's a full page. And in other cases, there's more text. But it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And her meanings she's written as bullet points, right? So that somehow makes it more immediate and accessible to get to. The other real positive here is that the table of contents is in alphabetical order. So the name of the card is in alphabetical order with the page number, and you can find it really quickly. So as someone who's contemplating, what makes a good Oracle deck, that is, in terms of the guidebook, that is a major, major plus. I love it. The deck itself, this is just the back. I love this little guy. He's so cute. It's just adorable. I don't feel like I'm going to do it justice, but I will try because it's so sweet. I love her artistic style. It's not something I can do as easily, and the practiced hand and just the whimsy and sweetness of it. It's adorable, and it's so accessible and not scary. If I were going to read for a client who was not comfortable with tarot and saw this little guy sitting, on a table with a rock on it, that would be like, yeah, this won't be scary. Maybe I'll learn something and I can grow and it'll be safe. I won't walk home and feel terrified about my life. Also, this electric blue edging it's one of the first decks I've ever seen away from like Ivy Fang's webs, or her what do we call it? Her YouTube page that has this. I know that she did. I think you could get it like an electric blue to like this with Ivy Fang if you use her as a printer. But I've not actually seen anyone do that yet. So congratulations, Amy Chace, on being one of the innovators of this as a possibility. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And right away when you pull it out of the box, I mean, it's just, it's stunning. So the artwork is very, very immediate. It's often easy to make a ripple. Let's see. Embrace imperfect color with crayons. Get out of your own way. Wow. I mean, they're just so immediate and beautiful. And I think something that maybe I love about, the detail and the amount that there is that's in here to play with the eye is wonderful. I also really love, folks, the layering that goes into a piece like this before it ever gets messed with digitally. And I don't know how much it's been messed with digitally. I'm guessing very little. Unless it was done with intention, where it's like, well, I'm going to create this as a piece of digital art and use it this way. And I don't see a lot of that here. I see mostly handwork. Something like this takes a lot of work to layer like this with different media and tools. It's a lot. So I don't know. I just feel like that needs acknowledgement too, because from one artist to another, like, there's a lot happening here. Entrepreneurship, to get that level of texture while drawing, all that forgive. It's so sweet. It just takes a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. Like the subtlety, if you can see it from the sun and the rays here into that, creating that little face. Yeah, she has to know her materials really, really well. Know how they mix, how they interface. And the messages are so obvious. They're so immediate. I feel like if somebody were really worried about going to see a tarot card, a cartomancer, this would just make it so much more accessible. There's me, multiple streams of income. Yay! Yay, multiple streams. It's possible to make a business that way. Oh, wow. I feel like I've not seen this one yet. And I've been playing with these a lot over the last 2 days. Try something new without expectations. Beginner's mind. Beautiful place. Continue. I've had this one come up for me. It is time. Also the contrast of, these two are really simple, But then you get others that have a lot happening, a lot going on. And I would say even within the simplicity of this one, she has worked with colors and mixing colors. Whoops. Really, really intentionally and deliberately. Like, look at this guy compared to the, simplify, right? Notice the miracles and out with the dogs. That's when I notice my miracles. Wow, so many things happen when I'm out walking the dog. I swear I will always need to have a dog, probably just for spiritual practice. Buck convention, this one fell down. Visualize abundance when needed. Yeah, buck convention. Amen to that. One small change. I like how it looks to me like these are succulents. And then fear nothing. Using that beautiful, beautiful background. It's all washed, washes of color. Ponder your blessings. So I got ponder your blessings. The first reading I had with this one was, oh no, not that one. It was ponder your blessings and think bigger. So these two guys were the ones that came up first. Think bigger and ponder your blessings. And at the moment that these came up, that was like getting a big hug. A big, giant, supportive hug that I probably really needed and did not realize until that moment. So wanted to share that because I loved it. Live in the moment. Wow. Again, very simple in some ways, and yet the detail and the amount of effort and work that took to create that was actually quite a bit. Move your body. And this is one where maybe it was, some digital work went into that one. Ask for help. I love that. Black out the media. And this is it's not about you. What does it say? It is not even about you. Fine. Yeah, so many things are not about us. Most things are not really about us, even when people say they're about us. Think new, see fresh. Beautiful. You will get through this. Use your words. It's like so funny. They're, working in special ed for the last couple of months now. I have to say, so many things that go into special ed, I'm like, wow, that's great advice. There's so many things that we would do with the kids or remind them of on a, sometimes hourly, sometimes daily, minute by minute basis. Like use your words, that were just, I would think, man, that I could apply that. That's for me. I need to know that. I need to know this. I should write an essay about the wisdom of things I learned from working in special ed, actually, but mull it over. I mean, we're all a little bit special ed, aren't we, in some way? Find a little divinity in yourself. Oh. Go out on a limb. I love her use of color. Leave room for whimsy. Rebalance, regroup. Stay the course. This one, I just love. I don't know what it is with this particular drawing, but maybe it's the fish or the purple, or how the purple is like darker around her face. I don't know. I really love that card though. Like the image of it is really, I'm always coming back to look at it. It's really beautiful. Take care of yourself. She reminds me of the Empress. Tell your friends your goals. Self-care. It's great way to self-care, just get in a bath. Get in a bath. You know, I forget too about grooming. I mean, it doesn't seem like I maybe do, but I kind of do. Let's just say it's been months since the legs have been shaved. Maybe maybe a year. Maybe coming up on a year. My skin was so bad last year that I really couldn't shave legs. This year, that's not the skin that's really giving me trouble. But, you know, little things that kind of make you feel a little better about yourself, grooming-wise, which... I don't know, I'm jumping past this. Just suffice it to say that if you've ever engaged in a long-term practice of like, who am I? And who am I? Almost, you know, which I did as, you know, sort of pre-monastic inquiry. It's important. You begin to let go of a lot, you know, to do with your physical appearance and your body. But what I find is that sometimes just doing those things makes me feel better. And not just because I feel like I fit in better, but just because I feel better. So it's a good one. I got to come right back because my computer's going to die. Okay, and I'm back. So self-care. Shine some light on it. Every breath can be a new beginning. Oh, and she's got her hand on her belly, breathing in. And we're back to the beginning. So the cardstock is delicious and yummy. It's got that lovely like ASMR kind of feel to it. And it's not the rose petal finish that you know, everyone in our community is wholly in love with. It is a thinner and it's very flexible. I wonder if it's plastic, actually. It is not a usual, typical Schiffer cardstock. I'll say that much. So the cardstock that it's most similar to, for me, is the Apparition Spirit Speak. And that's the first time I really encountered a cardstock like this. I feel like Spirit Speak is probably a little thicker. Yeah, it is. It's not as bendy. Like, I would not shuffle the Spirit Speak or the Apparition deck. I don't, because there's no need to. It shuffles like a dream, right? And it has that beautiful... You know, that sound, the shuffle of this deck is just outrageously good. However, this one shuffles like a dream if you riffle it. So if I pull it like this, you know, it's just dreamy the way it shuffles. So from that perspective, like, amazing. Now, I've said all the things that I love about the deck. I will now say what is a problem, and it's nothing to do with Amy, and it's everything to do with Schiffer, because it makes me really, really angry when, you know, their main purpose as a publisher is to, you know, find quality art, quality artists and creators, writers to publish, okay? So they get one. Right? They've got one right here. And she gives them the most beautiful quality deck. She's working her tail off, going out and promoting it herself within the community. And, you know, here she is doing all of that and promoting in ways that maybe Schiffer doesn't do for her. And they can't even ensure that the product is high quality. All right. So I think this will be the point where I go ahead and insert some footage that I took from when I unboxed the deck. So I am just opening the Manifesting Your Greatness Oracle deck. And I don't know how well this is going to come across on camera. But there's already like some kind of schmutz on the cover of the book. Like right here. I mean, I literally just took it out of the cellophane. I'm in shock. And I can feel that on the back, yep. Like right here, there's also schmutz. Yep, the light kind of catches it. It's like sticky. So just in pulling out this little thing that holds the cards, there's like glue stretched across both of the thumb holds. I kind of tore it on this side, but you can see where it was. What bothers me more is that, you know, the cards already seem to have some kind of a chipping going on. Yeah, there's more damage here. Like what, you know, what happens in the manufacturing process that creates, you know, that much damage, and, you know, who's overseeing this? I don't know. It's very weird. That said, I know that when Ethany had pulled hers out, like they weren't even and they weren't level, and this is a problem. Same like problem and issue here. Yeah, they're just not quite the same height. These two little stacks, that's really weird. They're just cut unevenly somehow. Oh, Schiffer. So you can see from that footage, like, I was really upset. You know, unevenness in the cards, like, it's not really that big of a deal, but you can see it, right? It's apparent when you look at it here. You know, I managed to get most of the schmutz that was on here, like, off. So when I pick up my book, it's now smooth. It doesn't have that. The box, I got rid of the schmutz on the box. It was glue. I think it was glue. The creators deserve so much better, you know. Amy, thank you for your work, and thank you for the beauty of it and the integrity of it and the ultimate immediate usefulness and beauty of it, because despite Schiffer's crappiness, I love your product. I love what you've created. And, you know, I will use this very joyfully and very happily. And I have enjoyed as much as anything just picking it up and holding it and looking at it, because it's so engaging. And thank you so much for watching. And again, I will talk to you again soon.